Hello, good morning and welcome back to the fish locker. James and I are out to go and check our pots. Now, it's been really bad weather for the past couple of weeks, so we haven't checked them in quite a while. To be honest, we've tucked in here tight and short to come and say hello to you because it's going to be quite sloppy when we get out there.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You comfy up here? Not gonna lie, it is a little bit sloppy out here, isn't it, James?
Yeah.
A little bit of motion in the ocean. It's always deceiving because the camera's got stabilisation in it. Yeah, we have a very confused sea. See if we can't get these pots up though. You going to help me? No? Alright, yeah. You're just sitting there then. Yeah, like this you see coming behind us. This is... We've got about 3 foot. Maybe just more. Doable. Turn the wheel around. Keep turning. Keep turning. Right. Open the engine back into reverse. That's it. Just like that. Perfect. Well done. Well, this is a problem you come upon. Shooting your pots in hard ground is one of the pots is stuck on the seabed. Well, what a chew that was. The reason why that was such a chore was, like I say, because I'm working my pots in rough ground. They're in really snaggy ground, and this rough weather that we've just had, we've had 12 days of really hellish weather, and all it's done is it's just dragged and jammed my pots right up into the rocks. So every single one of them was jammed tight into a crevice. But we got them. We've got quite a few interesting captures in here. Oh, now you've come out to see what's going on, have you? Okay. Right, well, first things first, we'll have a look at what's in this pot. In case anyone's curious, there is a bit of weight in these pots. Are you coming out? You're going to come out and look? Go then. Do you want to open it up? Stinky, aren't they? On this load. Right, this is what's left of a monkfish skull. There's a polypid. Right, first thing out. You know what this is?
Velvet swimming crab.
Velvet swimming crab. A male velvet swimming crab. And 2 spiders.
Got the measuring.
Go on then, you want to get in on the measuring?
Right, so the spider crab is...
Let's just tell you what I'm going to do. Right, best boy. James has his own measure. Can I get in closer? This is James's measure. And on it we have different things. We have lobsters, crawfish, scallops, spider crabs, female brown edible crabs, male brown edible crabs. These are 2 male spider crabs. You can tell they're males because they have, what do they have, James?
Narrow V.
They have a narrow apron underneath there. And the way you measure them is straight over their back. Like that. That one is bigger than 130, so that one would be big enough to take.
Yeah.
Are we going to take it?
No.
No.
We don't like spider crabs.
No, we're not going to bother taking spider crabs. So this one as well would probably be big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's shuffle them back.
So these 2 spider crabs here are large enough to take. But this is the smaller side of what we have. If we got a monstrous one, we'd probably keep it. But these ones are only real small. And this one here has only got 1 claw in it. Oh, that was a big wave, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's only got 1 claw in it. We'll stick them down at the back there and we'll drop them off in a minute. This can be our spider crab bucket.
All the spider crabs we get.
Yeah. Nothing else in there but a bit of weed.
So that one can be put aside.
Yeah. Now this pot actually does have something very interesting in it. And I'll do a little segment on that by itself because I'll do the filming of that with a different camera. But straight away in here, another velvet swimming crab. A lovely lobster. This is a female lobster. She's nice and hard. She is, with James's measure, well above landing size. I would put her down at being 100 mil. Minimum landing size in Cornwall is 90 mil. So our first sized lobster in the pots this season. And she's a beaut. She's a lovely one. She's got quite a nasty wound up her side though, funnily enough. She's been attacked. She sustained some damage while she's been soft. But shows her quite hardy. And this here, for anyone who isn't aware, it isn't like a rock. That is a sponge crab. Yeah, that there is a female sponge crab. I'm going to do some filming of that with the other camera now. This interesting little lady is actually
A little sponge crab.
a sponge crab. Yeah. We've caught 1 or 2 of these before in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting one. Usually what they'll do, in fact, I'll put a picture in here now. I found one of these in the pots last year and it had a sponge on it. You want to hold it for me, please? Now, it is covered in like little tiny fibres. What it does is it hollows out a sponge and then wears it as like a little hat and uses it as camouflage.
Yep. And their claws are funny looking.
Yeah.
They're pink.
Very interesting little crab, isn't it?
Yeah. Back.
Just take a photo and we'll put it back. She is interesting, isn't she? See you later. Right. And in the last pot we have a bit of a mixture. We have a female brown edible crab that is undersized. She is...
Yeah, we can just tell.
Yeah, she tells she's undersized. She is... Yeah, about 10 or 12 mil undersized. We also have 1. Come on. 2 velvet swimming crabs. Now these are edible and they do taste quite nice, but they're only real small, so you'd need like 15 of them to make a crab sandwich. Oops. Well, he's going back. Another little male brown edible. Another little female brown edible. And a little baby lobster, a little baby male.
By the sight we can tell it's just too small.
Yeah, definitely too small, isn't it, James?
Yeah.
So this one's going back as well. So yeah, we have 1 size lobster out of those 3 pots. But still a definite success. There's a lot of effort to get them out and it's sloppy today, like. But like I said, yeah. Let me get these pots a little bit. Like I said, these pots, because of all the bad weather, I mean you can see all the bad weather, we're still in it now. This is the back end of it. Because of all this bad weather, I haven't been able to get to these pots for weeks. Well, 2 weeks. So as soon as I had the opportunity to, I mean even though today's a little bit rough, we've had to come out because there's been stuff sat in the pots potentially for 10 days. We'll get them rebaited and shot back. Go and get the next ones. Still a bit sloppy. Coming on me please, James, I need you to push this pot to the back. Just slide it right to that side please. Can you do it? There we go. Heavy, aren't they? Well, that was a bit of a chew. Yeah, we've got a mixer. Nice little mixer catching these ones. Whew. Again, like I say, because we've had all this bad weather and because I shot my pots in real rough ground, I've just been all jammed up with the bad weather. Another reason why I was so keen to come out and get them. Yeah, two of the three were stuck inside the rocks. But we got them out. Now, I've done this a lot. I've been doing it for a lot of years. Like what I'll do is I'll wrap a rope around the cleat. I don't tie it off to the cleat. I just wrap around it once so I can hold it. So if I need to let go, I can let go and the line runs. If you tied it off to the cleat and tried to pop them out like what I do, you can either rip a cleat off or you can pull your boat under the water. All I do is I wrap it around the cleat once and hold the tension with my hand. That way, if it comes stuck and the boat starts to pull down, I can let go of the rope and it'll just pull through. And all I use is I just tighten up, go around in a circle, let off a little bit of rope, and instead of pulling straight up, I just pull at an angle at it. And then I'll just creep closer and closer and use the buoyancy of the boat over a wave to either turn the rock over, pull the rope out, pull the pot out. Yeah, all I did there was, because it was real tight in stuck, I got myself quite close to it, wrapped it around the cleat, held onto it, and then when a big swell come, the whole buoyancy of the boat pulled the pot out. The buoyancy of the boat is stronger than what I am pulling at it. Plus I end up just popping me back when I don't need to. You just work smarter, not harder. Right, first pot up has actually got quite a bit in it. Are you ready? Are you ready, best boy? I asked James to move this pot for me. Like, move it close to the side. And there's that much in it that it was a bit heavy for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, just the weight of the pot by itself.
Well, yeah, the pots are heavy on their own.
Yeah,
Yeah, these pots, for anybody who's curious, these pots, yeah, there's a wrasse in there. These pots, like when they're dry, are like 40 pounds, are like 20 odd kilos. So we wet and catch, you're talking like 30 to 35 kilos sometimes. You'll notice that I'm using a baiting pot in this. Now they use these in the States, and I found that while I was beachcombing in Ireland, and I thought I'd try it out, and yeah, and you can see it works really well. Now this wrasse, actually, we are going to use this wrasse to rebait the pot, so I'm not going to let this go. There is a ballan wrasse. This guy's going to go and rebait this pot.
there's another one very light.
Yeah. But straight away in there, we have a big spider. Are you going to pull him out or am I going to pull him out?
Yeah.
Me. Fair enough. That is a better sized male spider crab.
I bet it's more than 130.
Miles over. Miles over. Yeah, this guy is best part of probably 170, 180. So like I was saying at the ones before, you want to pass me the spider crab bucket, please? It's a little bit rocky and rolly, isn't it? Yeah, them spider crabs that we had before. Kept hold of them because, like I say, even though this one is legal, this one's a better representation of the species. See? And the claws are slightly bigger, but still not a massive one. This is still a relatively small one. Right, go and put the spider crabs down. Oh, good catch. I'm putting everything that's legal, like the spider crabs and the brown crabs, I'm going to keep them back until the end so we can have a look at them, and then we'll release the ones that we don't want. Male brown edible. Another little male brown edible. Right, these I believe have got to be 150? No. Females are 150, males are 160.
I expect that's smaller than one.
No, I don't think this guy's big enough. No, he is. If he was a female, he would be undersized. He is about 12 mil undersized for being a male.
So, close.
Close, but no cigar.
There's one more.
Yeah, this one might be big enough. This one does look like a good size one.
1.6.
Oh, yeah, we have a winner. We have a winner.
Winner!
This guy, as a male, is... I'll just show you that. Yeah. Oh. But he's bang on the measure, like he'll be... Like this will show you. You see how this guy here is attached to the pot? You can't get hold of the body and pull him because his legs will just come off. You need to hold on to the claws and pull the claws. So you hold on to his claws like that and then pull him. If you just pulled his body, his claws would just come off. Been thrown about a bit too much here to be able to properly talk to you. Yeah. Slightly undersized, bang on the size. Look at the claw size difference. This guy can go back. You might have seen me in previous videos, or even like my diving ones. I've measured my hands. I've measured distances on my hands, so that I know as soon as I pick one up and I measure it against my hand, that's how big it needs to be. Like a lobster, across my 4 fingers there is 92 mil. So I know that if I get a lobster out, come here. If I get a lobster out like that and I put my 4 fingers above its back like that, if it's bigger than my 4 fingers, I know it's like 92 plus, 92 mil plus. This one here, I would put this one down at being about 85. So he's going to be undersized, yeah. 5 mil undersized, this lobster. Whereas this part of my hand, from there to the bottom of here, is 160. That's how big a crab needs to be, look. So when I offer my hand up on top of the back of it, when I go out of a crab like that and I put my hand up on top of it, if it's all the way from the top of my finger to the bottom of my thumb, I know straight away if it's bigger than that, it's bigger than size. So I can quickly sort through catch, and anything that's close, put it aside and then measure that. So yeah, this guy here is, there you can see, bang on the measure, and when you offer him up, there look, when you lay him up straight, he's touching 160 mil across the back for a male, 150 for a female. You want to try and you can sit in there with that wrasse. This lobster, as we said, is too small. This is an undersized male. Do you want to chuck this one back, James? Right. What do you know about lobsters? What can you tell me about lobsters?
So if you turn it over,
right,
you look by the legs,
yep.
You see 2 white dots, it's a male.
Yeah, this is a male, as James was saying, because there's 2 little dots there, it's a male. And what do you know about the claws?
And males have bigger claws, the females have smaller claws.
And what about the tail?
The male has a thinner tail and the female has a wider tail, yep, for holding all the eggs.
As for the crushers and the cutters,
yeah,
males and females can have them on either side. Where's that lobster that we had earlier?
Over in the bucket at the back behind the seat.
Right, you wait there. Perfect. Just to prove our example, there are 2 types of claws. There's a cruncher, like a crusher claw, a big tough one, and a cutter, which is like a little pair of scissors. So they have one that they get hold of prey with and kill it, and then another one that they come in and cut it up with. So this one has the crusher on the right and the cutter on the left.
So that one's right-handed.
And this one here has the cruncher on the left and the cutter on the right. So opposites. So this lady here is probably right-handed and this guy here is left-handed. Trying to hold him up. If it was flat calm, it'd be easy to do, but I'm not going to get bitten. There, look. Crusher on the right, crusher on the left. Tell you what, you're doing awfully well today, James, because it is rocky.
Yeah.
There you go, just making sure we're chucking back the right one.
My head kind of hurts because of the rockiness.
Right, you're going to give it a good chuck that way.
Yeah.
Good man. Yeah, it is. It's a bit flippy floppy today, isn't it? Right, do you want to take this and put it in the bucket? Go back there. Go. Tight hold. Good man. Whew. Yeah, I'm with James. I'm starting to feel a little bit. Sun's at a low height, so it's right in your eyes, and you're slopping about all over the place. Bit of kelp out there. It's important to empty the pots, to clear the pots, because any kelp and bits like that can block the spouts and allow them to get back out. But there's another little wrasse. It's going to be going back as bait. And little female brown edible, 2 velvet swimming crabs, and another female. Right, you can tell that this is a female because of this large pad underneath here. That's where she holds her eggs. You're absolutely right, James. To compare it to the male, okay, he's got like a narrow triangular apron underneath, and she's got quite a wide one. Yeah, she's also, if you're looking at her back as cross, like over the top, she's got quite a humped back, whereas these guys, it's quite flat. This lady in here, yeah, quite a special one. Not this one. This male crab here is on his way out. He's almost dead. You can see, look, he's covered in black spot. Just something that happens to like older crabs. Yeah. He's not well in himself, that one. But this lobster here, this lobster in here, it is big enough. I can tell straight away by looking at it, it's big enough. She is going to be, no, he in fact. Oh, this is an interesting one. This will teach you a different bylaw that we have. Where's the measure?
Yeah.
Brilliant. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this pot down so that I'm not going to end up getting bashed about the spot. I originally thought that this was going to be a female because I saw a mark on its tail, and generally you only V-notch the females, but this lobster here is easily big enough, well big enough. He is over 100 mil. He is a nice big male lobster. He has, however, lost his claw at some point. That's why he's got one claw bigger than the other. He's got a bit of a Jeremy going on. So yeah, crustaceans, decapods, if they lose a limb, like a leg or a claw, they can regrow it back. When they shed off their hard exoskeleton, they grow back a small limb, and the next time it'll be bigger and bigger and bigger, and then 5 or 6 sheds, it might be back to the same size. There's a few bylaws pertaining to lobsters. Do you want to come here and talk to me about them? Do you know what some of them are?
No, I can't remember really.
Right, well, there's a bylaw about minimum landing size, isn't there?
Yeah.
They've got to be above a certain size. They've got to be above 90 mil, don't they?
And if a female is carrying eggs,
Yep.
you can't have her.
That's it. You can't land a female that's carrying eggs. You can't land a buried hen.
Oh,
And then another bylaw is V-notches. Now, if you don't know what, I can see, look, James has found a little tiny baby shrimp. Look. You want to sit yourself back down so you don't get dirty? Good man. Right, V-notching lobsters. People will have seen me V-notching lobsters in many of my videos before. My diving videos, my foraging videos, my crop potting videos. A fisherman such as myself, a commercial fisherman or an angler, pretty much anybody who has enough knowledge to can V-notch a lobster. And what you do there is you cut a V. In fact, I will tag in here a little clip of a V-notched lobster, one of the lobsters that are V-notched. You cut a V into its tail fans, and that's either going to be this tail fan or this tail fan. You never do the middle because its nervous system runs up the middle. That marks that lobster there for 3 or 4 years until it's shed its shell a couple of times as a protected lobster, so that there is a breeding stock of lobsters on the ground at all times. Usually you just do it with pregnant lobsters, with lobsters carrying eggs, because that is proven for like fertile viability. You can V-notch males. There's no bias against it. You can. It's not sex dependent. You can V-notch an inmate. There is a protection bylaw that is that you cannot land a mutilated tail. And a mutilated tail is any mutilation into any 5 of the tail fans in such a way to obscure a V-notch. So if there's any damage, so for instance, a fisherman with nefarious aims could catch a V-notch lobster with a perfect V in its tail fans and could rip off the fan, and that way it doesn't look like a V-notch lobster. But it's a mutilated tail lobster. Now this lobster, this is a male, so it's unlikely to have been V-notched. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. This lobster, I believe, has been fighting with another lobster and has lost part of 2 tail fans. If it had just been the one tail fan, if it had just been this one, I would have said it's a potential V-notch that's growing out. But because there's damage to this one also, I honestly believe, in my experience, that this has been fighting with another lobster. So it's had damage to its tail. But that means that this falls under the bylaw of mutilated tail. This lobster has a mutilation in such a way that it could obscure a V-notch if there was a V-notch there before. So although it doesn't look like one, it might be one, you can't land it anyway. I will try and do a little bit of video with my phone to be able to show you closer. And I will put some context also into the description of the video. This lobster classes as a mutilated tail lobster. You win some, you lose some, don't you? Still nice to see him, and in fact what I might do, I'll leave him. I was going to say I might clip his tail, but no, I'll leave him. He's fair game. Give him one more shed of his shell and that tail will have healed out.
That is a gnarly scar.
Yeah, and I'm just going to flip him over and do him again. Look, put your hand out. That classes as a mutilated tail. And those are those little dots that James was talking about. You're going to point them out?
There and there.
Yeah, you're touching his nuts. Throw this one back.
Yeah, sure. Should I do them over the side?
Yeah, we'll just do them over this side. Go. Lazy guy. Oh, it's turned over. Down he goes. Good job. Now look, the beauty of using one of these pots is all the soft bait that I would have used, like the pilchards and things, the really oily stuff, can handle it inside the pot. The scent all comes out, but I wouldn't be able to use baits that soft normally because they'd just fall out the bag. But I can put them in there and screw it in it and it just releases scent like a ground bait. Clever these. Definitely need to do some cleaning down now. We're going to have a quick tidy down and I'm going to take us in somewhere sheltered to look at the spider crabs, the brown crab and the lobster, and we'll talk about what we're keeping and what we're not. You right there, best boy? It is like a completely different day in here, isn't it?
Yep.
We're on the lee side of that shore now. So we're in the sheltered side of this shoreline. And the catch that we have now, another bylaw, I've been harping on about bylaws today. Another bylaw in Cornwall is the amount that you can take if you are unlicensed, unregistered. Like us, if you're just pleasure fishermen. For your own personal consumption, you are allowed two lobsters, or 2 lobsters and 3 crabs, or like no more than 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. Right, that's just purely for transportation. I'm not taking all this. We've just brought it in here so that we can have a look at it. So we're not throwing about all over the place, because it wasn't the safest of things for James to be walking about on the deck when there's all the ropes and all the pots while we're being thrown around. So James can come out and have a good look at everything now, and we're going to decide what we're going to take. We're definitely keeping this absolute stunner of a splasher. It's just...
I think we should take a spider crab.
Of course, she splashed over the lens. Yes. As I was saying, a beautiful lobster. Just doing it again.
It's happy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a cracker. I am going to take Mr. Brown Crab.
And I think I'm going to take a spider crab.
And James says that we're going to take a spider crab. So we're going to cook.
A large one.
We're going to take the big one. We're going to take the big spider crab. So we're going to let these 2 smaller spider crabs go.
Yep.
I aren't sure yet how we're going to cook them. I'm thinking that me and James might go for a beach cook up with the lobster, and then we might cook the spider crabs and the brown crab at home, and have crab cakes.
Yeah, or some like crab pasta.
Yeah, crab cakes, and possibly with the spider crab do something else. Yeah. The world is our oyster. James enjoys being in the kitchen, so yeah, we're going to do a little bit of that too. Let's have a... Yeah, he is covered in little keel worms as well.
Yeah,
those little white worms in there are just a polychaete worm that creates a calcium shell around itself. That shows that he's been in that shell a while. His shell is a tough shell. And as for anybody worried about like these crabs and these lobsters, when we're pulling them out of pots and we're chucking them back in the water, like, oh, can you help me more careful? These guys are literally armour plated. Like, their skin is made of stone. It's made of calcium. And like these guys are absolutely covered in monstrous great spikes and spines. I mean, look, he's got horns on the end of his nose. Yeah, these guys don't mind like a little bit of rough and tumble. They live a rough life. These always remind me of like a face hugger off a Ridley Scott film. They just look like they should be stuck to your face, don't they?
Gotta be careful if it attaches to your nose.
Yeah, I will know about it, won't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so we've tucked in tight inside here in this little sheltered bay. We're going to drop the spare crabs back that we don't want, and then go and finish tidying down the boat, because even though I did give it a quick wipe down, it does get very dirty doing the pots. And then cook up time.
Yeah.
Right, we'll put her in her own bucket so she doesn't have a fight with anyone.
So I get in out with these spikes.
You're coming with me too. You can go in there.
This one can go in there as well.
We're taking this big one. Yeah.
All males.
All males.
Nice.
Yeah. With these guys, the main of the meat is in the claws, in the legs, and in these knuckles in here. So, look how spiky he is, eh?
Yeah.
You feel him with your hand when you try and get hold of him. He's quite spiky, isn't he?
Yeah.
You in there too.
Right there.
Go on. Drop that one down this side. Let's see how far down we can see it. And there he goes. All the way at the bottom. Are we ready? Let's go. James and I have made it home. We have the crabs and the lobster in here. I've mentioned this before, but storing crabs and lobsters, if you don't want to eat them straight away on a day, or if you get more than what you can eat straight away, you can store them in the fridge and they'll be fine. All we use is like the veg dish at the bottom. And this is just a tea towel that is just damp. Like it's not sopping wet, it's just damp. That lobster will be fine there in the bottom of the fridge for a couple of days. Those two we're going to have now the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to dispatch and then cook the 2 crabs. We're out in the garden. Mrs. Fishlocker has requested that we cook these crabs in the garden so there isn't the smell of crabs in the house, which is understandable. Yeah, we're going to cook the brown crab and we're going to turn that into crab cakes, aren't we, James?
Yeah.
James has never tried spider crab, so we're going to try just crab meat. And if he likes the crab meat, you might what do you say, pasta dish?
Yeah, I said I might turn this into a pasta dish.
So there you go, that's that. I've covered the cooking of crabs loads of times in the videos. I'm just going to dispatch them, and I use either clean seawater or fresh water with salt added. It just wants to be as salty as the sea you took it from. Full rolling boil, in it goes, 2 more minutes after it comes back to the rolling boil, and it's out. And then we'll pick them.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
There we go. All inside of here and here is going to be white meat, and all inside of there is going to be brown meat. So if you don't like the brown meat, you don't need to eat it, but it is good for a bit of flavour in your crab cakes. Like that. And then just put your spoon in, because you're trying not to crack the shell. There you go.
The fly.
Perfect.
Break in half. Pull. Push
All you need to do, scoop up inside.
Yeah.
Turn it back round. There's all the meat. See?
Can I try that?
Good?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So look, no cracking needed. Nothing gone cool down. Good job. One more. Good job. I'm having to I'm struggling to pick it faster than what James can eat it. He's just worrying it. I'm struggling to keep him away from them 2 claws as well. Yeah, I'm just picking all the knuckles out now. So you like brown crab meat?
Yep.
Go on then.
Yay.
Are we going to get to the crab cake stage?
Probably not.
Just got a bowl of mashed potato.
Right then, best boy. I've picked part of one of the spider crabs off. Have a try. It's different, isn't it? It's longer fibres than it is in. Good?
Yeah, I like it.
Good. Well, we'll keep going then. You can crack the legs and I'll crack the rest of the body.
James is prepping the crab cakes, aren't you?
Yeah.
What have you chopped so far?
I've chopped green onions into finely pieces, and now I'm moving on to the red pepper. Right, so
I would just use that as like a lollipop. These, you can just eat all the meat straight off them, but be careful because there's a hard bit in the middle. Then flatten. So what do you reckon to the crab cakes? Perfect. James is also just eating the spider meat neat. So what do you think then? Spider meat or brown crab meat?
brown crab.
So you prefer, so you rate it lobster, then brown crab, then spider crab. I hope you enjoyed joining us. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best. See you later.
See you later.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the Fish Locker YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos from our adventures just like this one. We upload new videos every Sunday evening, so don't forget to click subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go.